whatever force is acting on the body. So basically when we study motion, we are concerned with things like the speed, velocity, acceleration, and then the distance traveled or displacement from a certain point. That means the distance from a certain point. Okay, so in topic 1 we have 4 different subtopics. Okay. First we will deal with distance and displacement. Alright, you need to learn to differentiate between the two. Okay. And after that we will do speed and velocity. And if there's time we will handle acceleration. If not, then we will carry on and finish up next week. Alright, acceleration and then free fall under gravity. So remember I told you the first part of AM deals with mechanics. Now mechanics basically, in general, it is a study of motion, but alright, as defined earlier, kinematics only studies motion without considering force. In mechanics, we consider everything. Okay now? Right? So we will study forces as well if you look at the later topics. Okay? We'll study forces and then we'll study how things turn. Alright? Okay, so kinematics is a more focused study within mechanics. Alright. Some of the new terms you need to learn. Okay, scalar. Have you heard of scalar before? Scalar quantities basically are quantities with magnitude. It means there's only size, but there is no direction. Okay? Direction is not a concern. We're talking about scalar quantities, and we say that scalar quantities, alright, only have magnitude. That means size only. Okay, no direction. So, example, distance and speed. Now, the other type of quantity, alright, we need to learn is vector quantities. Now, vector quantities, alright, will consider both the magnitude and direction. Okay, magnitude and direction. Now, so the example of vector quantities would be things like displacement and velocity, alright, versus distance and speed. So what's the difference? Okay, something very obvious would be speed and velocity, alright. You can tell the difference between scalar and vector by looking at speed versus velocity. Now, imagine if you were sitting in your father's car, okay. Now you're moving, alright, in a certain direction, say at 100 km per hour. Your father is quite a hell driver or something. Alright, now then he makes a U-turn, right? Now if he makes a U-turn and continues traveling at 100 km per hour in the opposite direction. Now the speed in both directions